Hey everybody, I'm coming to you with a beaded pendant tutorial. This was 100% inspired by my friend Lisa, who is Glue Paper Scissors here on YouTube. Hey girl! So we're both on Pinterest, and she sent me a couple images, or a few images on Pinterest, and asked if I could duplicate. So one of them I was able to duplicate, and it's kind of amazing, and I love it. So thank you, girl. And you see I went a little ham. So let me go ahead and show you. This is the pendant, and I'm going to show you all the ones that I made, because when you do one, you just start busting out all your beads and seeing how many more you can make. So the whole point is to use 5 beads. These are 6mm beads, okay? And 20 gauge artistic wire. Okay, so it's 5 beads on each one. So here's one in fuchsia, here's one in a really pretty brown that's using gold artistic wires, 20 gauge, same thing. Here's one in teal, here's in chocolate brown with gold, coral with a stainless steel, baby blue crackle bead, oops, okay, and this right here is an 8mm glass bead in gray. Love it. Love it, love it. This is a 5mm blue. Okay, so I used 4mm, 6mm, 8mm. Okay, all using 20 gauge wire, artistic wire. All right, then I was like, you know what, let me try to use a different shaped bead. So I took out the bigger bead that I have here, these ones. They're super pretty, and I did 3 of those. So if you compare that to a 6mm, how tall it is, it's, you know, the same length. I didn't want the length to be longer because I already made one in a necklace and I've already worn it. So I kind of wanted to keep it the same. And I'm like, okay, I kind of like that. That's different. I like that. So I was like, let's go ahead and up notch that one more. And let's try my heart-shaped ones. And then these ones right here, these are from downtown LA. And I use the heart ones. So these ones right here are multicolored. Gorgeous! And there's the back. So these beads right here are just to die for. And I was like, okay, Anna's feeling herself right now because I'm feeling real extra. So I was like, all right. I was totally just like digging out beads. Which could I add and make? So I'm going to show you guys. All right. All right. Once you get the hang of it, I swear you just are going to bust out a bunch of beads and do it. So I'm going to do 4 beads at an 8mm, and then I'm going to do 5 beads at a 6mm. Okay, I only have left this 20 gauge right here. I don't have the shiny one anymore. I have to go get some. And this is called tinned copper, and it's a stainless steel metal, which I like that one a lot. Because, I mean, artistic wire is very good about not tarnishing, and if it does, it takes a while. I've not had a bad experience with this wire, so I cannot say that I have. But I do like the shiny one as well, and I need to get some more of that. This one only costs $3.99, and I believe the shiny one is $5.99. I think that's what it is. So we're going to use this because that's what I have left. And then I've used this one right here, which is the bare yellow brass, which is, it's gold, but 20 gauge. It's the wire gauge of preference that I use for my wire wrapped rings and stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead. You're going to need round nose. You're going to need flush cutters, some needle nose right here that are flat, no ridges. And then if in case you mess up in your coils and you don't like it and you need to uncoil all of them, you don't throw that wire away. You just get some of these and slide out that wire and you can make them straight again. Because I can't tell you, on some of these I had to redo them 3 times and I wasn't going to throw that wire away, so I would just get these and I would straighten it out, and it works like butter. And my sweet friend Kat gifted these to me, so thank you, Kat. I love these a lot. Okay, so let's dive in. Oh, I cut these at 13 inches, okay? There will be some throwaway, but not a lot. I prefer to have a little extra, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this down about a good, let's do this up here. Let's turn this up a little bit. We're gonna take this about 2 inches down, okay? And we're gonna take it a third of the way in, not halfway, but a third of the way in, because I want this part of the nozzle, I don't want it to be too thick, the circle part, and it gets thicker and thicker and bigger down this way. So we're just going to hold this tight here. This does move, the right hand does no movement, okay? Your left hand is going to do it, and you're going to wrap it all the way around to where it's all the way around and flush to the bottom of your pliers, okay? This hand on the right still doesn't move, okay? Your left hand's going to do the moving, and you're going to turn your first coil. Make sure the coil is closest to the barrels of your needle nose, and you're going to keep turning and make sure that each coil is butted up next to each other, okay? You don't want them to be on top of each other. You want them next to each other, because we're going to cover these coils, all right? And I do 4 coils, all right? So 4 turns, and then let's straighten this circle out so it's not, oops, I keep doing that. All right, well, we'll straighten that out when the beads are on. We're gonna go ahead and cut these off, this right here. Okay, so it'll look like this. As soon as this camera starts acting foolish, come on, camera. And don't be alarmed with your coil looking like that right now. We're going to straighten it out, so don't worry about it going to the side. And we're going to cover these coils, all right? So let's go ahead and we're going to do the 8mm beads. Because these are bigger, I'm only going to put 4. I'm not going to put 5, because 5 will be too many. Okay? So here's your 4. You cannot have any space in between these beads. They need to be very strongly butted up next to each other. You're going to hold them all the way up, and you're going to turn this wire all the way straight, okay? Just like that. All right? And there's no space in between. Now you're going to get your thumb, your left hand, hopefully, if you're a left-handy and do things, I don't know how to explain it the other way, but you're going to hold this down, the wire on the bead, and you're going to turn with your other hand, and you're going to turn it in between those beads, okay? And you see there's one down here, and then you're going to make sure this is the same here. So now you're going to hold the bead and the wire, turn it in between the 2 beads, okay? Now we're going to look, see if it matches the one below it. Now we're going to hold the 3rd bead. We're going to wrap it in between the 2 beads. Going to let go. Okay, does it match the way other ones here? Hold the 4th bead with this hand. Now we're going to butt it to the very, very bottom. Okay. Get it to focus. And it's going to go all the way at the bottom. Oh my gosh. Sorry, ladies. Okay, and then you're going to turn it and you're going to coil it. You're going to do the coils. You can turn it with your left hand at this point, and you're going to make sure these coils are all butted up next to each other. Okay. And we did 4 coils to begin, Now we're going to do the 4 coils, and now you see this is still to the side. So let's go ahead and straighten this one out. Alright, and get that 4th coil in there. Now we're going to go ahead and get the flush cutters and cut that off. So see, there is some waste, but I prefer there to be a little bit, not enough, because it sucks if you don't have enough, because then you got to start literally all over again. Okay, so here is with the 4. If in case there's any that like may have turned a little bit, then you can just turn the bead a little bit, but just hold it with the wire when you turn it, okay? And make sure that they're all lined up. Okay, and you see in the back they're all coiled in between or wrapped around it. And there's the back, the coil, there's the top, and you want to make sure that this right here is going this way. You don't want the whole part, you don't want to be able to see this in the front, because if you hang it on a necklace, we're going to pretend this wire is necklace, okay? It hangs perfectly, so it hangs with the design of the beads in the front. If you have this coil and you have it this way, it's going to hang, oopsie. If the coil is the opposite direction, it's going to show the back. It's going to show the other way, unless you put a jump ring. So if you put a jump ring and this circle is in the front of here, you would have to put a jump ring on in order for this to lay in the front. If you're not going to use a jump ring, which I've not done, I just put it on a really thin chain that I get from Michael's that I really, really like. I use this one right here. Okay. It's this really tiny chain. I don't think it has, it's just nickel free 9.4 or 8.5 millimeter chain. I use this chain all the time, and I just slide it through. Okay, and I use another chain of theirs too that's really super thin, and I just slide it through the hole. If in case you don't do this hole big enough, you could always put a jump ring. It's not a big deal. Okay, so this is the one with 8 millimeter 4 beads. So in comparison to one with 5, okay, oopsie, just wanted to show you how long it hangs. So I have this hanging, I like it to hang like, well, there's no other way to say it, but kind of right up above my chest. So it's really pretty though. So this one, see how easy that was? Now we're going to do one with 5 beads using 6 millimeter beads, okay? So we're going to take this down about 2 inches. Okay, remember the right hand doesn't move. We take it down 1/3 of the way, and we're going to use our left hand to turn the wire all the way around. Okay, and this, when you turn it around, it should be exactly straight underneath your pliers. Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to turn it to where it's butted right up against the pliers, and you're going to make sure these coils are tightly knitted against each other, not on top of each other, because we're going to put coils on top of these ones, so you don't want bulkiness. And I do 4 coils is what I do. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off the difference. Okay, and then we're just going to get these pliers right here. We're just going to close it off because it's kind of looking a little sharp. Oopsie, see, I made it worse. Oh, you know what, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because I'm going to cover that up anyways. So right now you see that this circle is hanging to the side. Don't be alarmed. I'm going to show you how to fix it straight up and down when we hang on the beads. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these beads on. 2, oh geez, 3, oops, 4, 5. Alright, so we have 5 6 millimeter beads. These are pretty green crackle beads. Alright, so look at how ugly that looks. Don't you worry, we're going to have it looking fabulous in no time. Let me go ahead and squeeze the top part because it went straight down. Oopsie. Hold on, let's take off the beads and try this again. I just need the, I didn't want that top. There we go. And let's cut this a little bit more. Perfect. Alright. Because sticking down, it was making the coils go down more, and you don't want a lot of coils up top. So you don't want to do like 6, 7, 8 coils, because then that's going to be way too much at the top part. So that's why I did 4 coils. Alright. Oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. I'm all sliding the beads on. Okay. Alright. So don't worry about that looking to the side like that. We're going to fix it. These, like I said, they need to be straight up to the top. And then you're going to pull this all the way like this. Okay. There we go. So there's no space in between those beads. You do not want any space at all. They need to be snug. Okay. So once again, you're going to hold the wire in the bottom bead. Alright. And then we're going to start our first turn in between the coils right here. Okay. Oops. Alright. And then we're going to look at the bottom, make sure we're in alignment with the bottom. And then we're going to around in between the 2 beads. We're holding the second bead. Now we're going to make sure that this one is the same as that right there. It is. We're going to hold the 3rd bead with the wire, and we're going to wire wrap in between the 2 beads. Let's take a look. Is that matching? Alright, 4th bead in between the 2 beads. And now we're going to make sure. And I want to make sure that the wrap is the same. Okay, so there it is. 4th bead. Now we're going to take it all the way to the very bottom and start our coil, because now we're going to cover the first 4 coils we started with. So we're going to make sure that these are all butted up next to each other so that there's no gaps. Alright, now let's go ahead. We need to fix this because now it's crooked and it's going to mess up the coils. So we're going to stick the round nose back in and we're going to turn it up. Okay, so we can complete this 4th coil. Now we're going to snip it off. Alright, and we're going to get these right here, and we're going to close this in a little bit so that it's not sticking out. Okay, let's touch that. Yep, I still feel it. Alright, so now let's straighten that out. Alright, so let's see. Straighten the beads out. Now when you have to straighten them out, make sure you're holding the bead with the wire as you're doing it. The first bead is never going to look as perfect as these other 4 beads because there's nothing to wrap it around. We're literally starting from the bottom, so it's kind of like you gotta mess with it, and it normally takes me a little more time to get that bottom one to look like the first 4. See how the first 4, they look like perfect. The coils, everything looks great. This top part is perfect because it's sideways like this. It's not with this in the front, but straight like this, so that I can just slide it on a chain. If in case you don't, all you got to do is hold the beads, get this at the top, and then turn it this way. It's an easy fix. Okay, so I will mess a little bit more with the bottom one, because see how this is right here? There's no way to get it. The bottom is right there, so you have to hold this down or else it's not going to do the coils. Okay, but that's okay. I actually don't mind it. And in the original picture, theirs was the same way. It didn't look perfect on the first one either. But I can easily bend the wire a little bit. I just don't want to take too much time finagling with, you know, the wire and scratching it and see, but because I'm looking at it, it's bothering me. But anyways, and that's how that looks. And you'll notice, oh, this one turned out pretty good. Hey, okay. And then, but see, you'll notice that the coils all look a little different. See how this one is? This is how they're exactly the same. So they all kind of have that little curve because you have to hold this and then turn the wire. If you don't hold this down and turn it, you can't do it. And that's why it stays like that. But it's okay. See, the bottom one doesn't go as perfect, but they look really pretty. So see, I love them. So this is how you do them. They're really super easy, and I tell you, you knock them out really quick. So Lisa, this is for you, girl. Thank you for showing me. I really enjoyed doing these. As you can see, I had no self-control and I just made a butt ton of them. And it's perfect because I'm just going to add this chain on them and they're going to be ready for gifting, and they're gorgeous. So you can make like for, you know, like we get mother's rings for our children. Gosh, you could do that with stones like that. Get all the really pretty stones of all your children and make a really pretty pendant one. I have some really pretty beads that have like rainbow colors on them, and you can just go to town with it. And you see that I tried different size beads in this wrapping as well. So you can also mess with that. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you liked this tutorial. I really enjoyed it. I love these. These are so super fun. And don't forget, 20 gauge artistic wire, unless you want to use the other kind of wire. I prefer artistic wire. And that's it. So I will see you guys later. That's 3 videos this weekend. You got to give me some credit. Come on, I did really good. So I will see you guys next week, and have an amazing and last remaining of your Sunday. Bye.